Dillian Whyte has reacted to Deontay Wilder's decision to rematch Luis Ortiz rather than facing him or Anthony Joshua. I'm going to quote Dillian Whyte here. He says, Deontay Wilder is ducked once again. If people don't believe he's running from the big fights by now, then I don't know what to tell them. He's fighting Luis Ortiz again because he's a something house. You guys can read. It's the easiest of fights for him. Ortiz is a fake boogeyman. His best win by far was over Bryant Jennings, who was knocked out by my next opponent, the unbeaten Oscar Rivas. There's a myth that the ancient Ortiz is avoided. I hope I don't keep calling him Ruiz. I feel like in my head I keep calling him Ruiz. It's been a long day, people. But there's a myth that the ancient Ortiz is avoided, but the reality is he has turned down multiple offers to fight me. I even have some sympathy for Anthony Joshua, as Ortiz turns down fights and then waits until the opponent has another fight arranged before claiming that they are avoiding him. He rejected over $7 million to face AJ this coming Saturday. I guarantee he's getting a lot less than that for the Wilder rematch. It makes no sense. Wilder has already beaten him and he knows he'll beat him even quicker this time. What's the point of fighting an old age pensioner again? It's just cruel. Now, I agree with much of what Dillian Whyte said there, but it has to be pointed out that he is kind of contradicting himself, because it wasn't so long ago that he was saying how it was AJ who wasn't trying to go in there against any of the biggest names, the toughest fights. And it was AJ manipulating the public and not taking on tough opponents and going for easier opponents. But now he said, and he's acting as though Wilder's the one who's been ducking people all along, when Wilder just fought Fury. And didn't Dillian Whyte give him credit for taking on Fury? To be fair, I can't remember specifically what Dillian Whyte said about that fight. But nonetheless, he's saying he's fighting Ortiz again because he's a you-know-what house and that it's the easiest of fights for him. I mean, I wouldn't say that. The first fight wasn't easy. It was only a year ago. So I wouldn't say it's the easiest of fights for him. Don't get it twisted. I'm very disappointed that Deontay Wilder has decided to rematch Ortiz instead of taking on AJ, for sure. And what he said there about Ortiz turning down $7 million to face AJ, and then once AJ signed to fight somebody else, then Ortiz and his team said, AJ's ducking us. They never really wanted to fight. That's true. That's some joke business from Team Ortiz. Complete joke business. And in my mind, there's only two reasons, and I said this at the time on multiple occasions, there's only two reasons why Ortiz realistically would have turned down the AJ fight. Either he was cycling off something and was worried about getting caught by VADA, or he wasn't allowed to take the fight either by his promoter, Dade Promotions, or by Al Heyman, because of the fact that they got this Deontay Wilder fight lined up even before the Anthony Joshua offer came. So that's just my opinion. I don't have empirical proof for either suggestion, but in my opinion, it's got to be one or the other, at least in my mind. So yeah, I definitely have to agree with Dillian Whyte on that. And yeah, as far as Deontay Wilder not facing Dillian Whyte, it seems as though he'll never face him, because Al Heyman likes to keep things in-house. He doesn't like to risk his heavyweight champion unless it's a mandatory situation, or unless the money is absolutely so ridiculously massive that maybe Deontay puts his foot down and says, no, let's do it. But at the moment, it appears as though Heyman, Finkel, etc. are blowing smoke up Deontay's backside and convincing him that he can make even more money without the DAZN deal. But with Showtime, they can make even more money than DAZN offered him. Shelly Finkel actually said this. If any of you guys saw that interview that Shelly Finkel did with Sky Sports a week or so ago, Finkel said that in the interview. He said that we turned down the DAZN offer because Deontay can make as much money as that, if not more, in his next 3 fights on Showtime. How many of you guys believe that? He only made about 10 mil against Brazil, which was half what DAZN offered him for that fight. Against Luis Ortiz, is he going to make 40 mil? Because that's what he was being offered for the first fight against AJ as part of that 3-fight deal. Yeah, 40 mil. Do you think he's going to make 40 mil against Luis Ortiz, given the fact that He didn't even do 1 million viewers on regular Showtime against Dominic Breazeale. And you got these idiots running around saying it's because the fight was so short, that's why he only got 1 million viewers. What a load of nonsense. What kind of fans are Wilder's fans if they're not turning the fight on until what, round 2, 3, or 4? You're trying to say the majority of them don't? So what, if the fight had gone 7, 8 rounds, you're trying to tell me it would have got what, 3, 4 million viewers? Give me a break. Deontay Wilder's not a draw. He reportedly sold about 6,000 or 7,000 tickets, and the rest of them were given away for free, and the attendance was only about 13,000. That's poor. Now, I do have to do a video about the attendance for the AJ Ruiz fight because people have put up screenshots, and you can go to the Madison Square Garden website yourself and see that there are still lots of tickets available for AJ versus Ruiz. It doesn't appear to have been sold out, and what appears to have happened is that a lot of the tickets went on sale on the secondary market, and those tickets have not been sold anymore. Have not yet been sold so far. So now you're seeing all these vacant seats in the at Madison Square Garden for AJ versus Ruiz. It still looks as though the majority has sold out, but there might be as much as a quarter of the arena, maybe a fifth of the arena tickets that haven't yet been sold. But be that as it may, the tickets were being sold for 3 times as much as Wilder Breazeale tickets. So they were 3 times as expensive. And on top of that, Anthony Joshua, we know he's not a big name in the United States. Well, he's not supposed to be yet, right? It's the first time he's ever fought in the United States. So AJ not filling out an arena in the US is not anywhere near as big a deal as Wilder not selling out an arena in the US, because Wilder's the American. He's the one who's supposed to be selling out. He's not the one coming from a foreign country, fighting in the US for the first time. And furthermore, his tickets were 3 times cheaper than AJ's tickets. It's not a good sign, people. And I'm not saying this to try and be anti-Wilder or anything like that. I'm saying it because it's the truth. That's not a good sign. So his team are blowing smoke up his backside, telling him he's going to make more money in his next 3 fights than he was offered in a DAZN deal. How's that going to work? Where's the money going to come from? The Tooth Fairy? Like, what's going on here? Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's happening them out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.